Peace and blessings, divine spirit beings. Welcome to yet another video on spiritual healing. And my topic for today is something that we all know, which is about good morals. When we talk about good morals, we do realize and recognize that in every religion, every spiritual denomination, this is what they emphasize, or what their teachers or prophets or priests emphasizes. And I've realized that we might practice these behaviors, these good morals, these commandments, and from our spiritual scriptural books or whatever that we follow, whatever that we recite or read from, but the most part that I would love to focus on is the right speech. Are we using the right speech whenever we communicate with each other, especially as spiritual people? I've seen so many conversations that started on a harmonious level, on a peaceful level, but it ends up as a conflict, people saying things that they are not supposed to be saying to each other because of being spiritual people. I'm not saying spiritual people are not supposed to be angry or supposed to fume and get so heated up, but I'm just saying if you are guided by those spiritual scriptures or guidelines from our teachers and our avatars, it shouldn't be something that is difficult to practice. Whenever that you feel that you might be not agreeing with the next person, then it has to be that thing of agreeing to disagree. And we should also realize that as spiritual people, we come from different backgrounds, which means different cultural backgrounds and traditional backgrounds, and as well as the religion and spirituality, it will be different. The path that they are using might be different from the one that you are using. I might be using this kind of way to find my God or to find my higher self. You might be using a different way, and we might disagree there and there, but we need to force that we find a common ground. So why I want to focus on the right speech is that I find people saying words that are not supposed to, that are not good actually to whatever the next person is, that he or she is receiving those words. Like people will be calling each other fools, idiots, stupid, childish, and all those things, using such harsh words, causing disunity, disharmony, and that is something that we don't want to focus on as spiritual people. We want to build a nation, we want to build a community of harmony, a community of peace, a community of love, and compassion. Then how are we showing them the light if we can find peace amongst each other? Because especially if you look at the little kids of these days, they feel that if God is one, then why do we have so many religions? Why do we have so many ideas? They believe that because of that is proof that maybe there is no God, there is no creator, there is no source. But when we show them, that there is a God, but there is diversity within the spiritual community, then that is where they will see that, okay, you can be unique and you can be whomever you choose to be, but still be a good person with good morals, with right speech, right concentration, right behavior, and all that. So being rude and being impolite and with slander talk, then it's something that means that we as spiritual people, we need to go back to our spiritual trainings, go back to our spiritual scriptures and see if why am I having this kind of rudeness, this kind of harsh behavior towards the next person, towards the next spiritual being. If I say I'm practicing something that is good, then why is it that whenever I speak, whenever I converse with people, I make them to feel that pain. I make them to feel angry, to feel heated up, So if you check even the words of the Buddha, he taught about the right speech. You find even the words of Yeshua, he taught about how we should behave to the next person, to our neighbors, that would you love that person to treat you the way that you are treating him or her, So I would love to also read from the 42 ideals of Ma'at. I've just chosen some certain words from the 42 ideals that can also prove that spirituality is all about being a person of good behavior, a person of right speech, a person of peace. So this is the paper that I've written down, and I just chose maybe 5 or 6 sentences or ideals of Ma'at. From these 42 ideals of Ma'at, we have I speak with sincerity, which is number 9. I have I offer words of good intent, which is number 11. I relate in peace, number 12. I speak positively of others. I communicate with compassion. I create harmony. I converse with awareness. And when you study these kinds of ideals, these kinds of teachings, you can see what spirituality is all about. And when you go through the Buddhist Noble Eightfold Path, you would see when they speak about the right speech. Right speech, they say, is abstention from telling lies, backbiting, slander talk, hatred, disunity, disharmony among individuals or group, harsh talk, rudeness, impolite maliciousness, abusive language, idle talk, gossip. This shows, and if you go to every spiritual teachings out there, you would find some common ground in these teachings. So what I would love to advise my spiritual people out there is that we need to try to be beings of good morals, beings with good speech. If one can't say anything positive, then one should keep noble silence. So as a spiritual person, it's right to create harmony, it's right to create peace, even though you want to maybe make sure that a message that maybe you have some strong feeling that you need to say something about a certain message or a certain words of spirituality or words of peace, then we should find manners that are good, manners that are of harmony, of peace, of love and compassion to one another. And that will be a good thing to do, and that will be achieving a certain goal, which is the goal of harmony, the goal of peace, the goal of returning to oneness with the divine. But if we say we are spiritual people and we can't even find that common ground, we can't even find peace amongst each other, then what's the use of us making YouTube videos like this? I'm not saying I'm a perfect person, no one is perfect until we reach nirvana, but while we on that journey, then it's best for us to try to be peacemakers, love makers, as well as people of compassion, of harmony, of joy and greatness, anything that is positive. So this is the video that I wanted to talk about, I would say please you can visit the codes of the Buddha. You know, you can go and visit the 42 ideals of Ma'at. You know, these teachings, they have something, because these people were avatars, you know, enlightened beings, which means they know something that we might never understand in our limited mind, you know. But while we are on that journey, while we are trying to reach that enlightenment, it's good to take those guidelines from these avatars. And I believe if we live by these codes, if we live by these scriptural guidances, we might help heal the universe, help heal the earth, you know. Thank you so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe to the channel and like, share and share with other friends, you know. Let them know that we are supposed to be peacemakers, love makers, and beings of compassion and unconditional love, you know. Yes, peace and blessings to you all. May you have a blissful life, guidance and protection. Love and light to you all. Yes, Ashe.